All right, everyone, just one moment. Sending some things off, getting some things taken care of. Okay, everyone, sorry for the little late start. Welcome. Let's go into here, and you should see me. And yep, my camera is obnoxiously hiding something that I have to hide. So again, if anyone is new here and wondering what we do, this is once a week live stream where I go through all of the short videos that so the short videos that I go through each day that you've seen on the channel, how I traded them, if I traded them, all of that kind of stuff. From there, we go into looking at my analysis of the markets and everything that's going on for that and what I think of the markets the next coming week. And then we do some scanning for stocks that I'm going to add to that list. Then from there, we'll talk a little bit about Stats Edge Pro and how that's going and all of that. But mainly, we're looking at kind of analysis and review for next week. As always, if you guys have any questions, come and type them here, because the reason I do this with questions instead of anything else, or live instead of record it, is that so you guys can answer questions. So let's actually just start right away by, let me pull in this and make sure it's sized all right for you guys. And we will start with, no, let's actually start with the videos from last week. Let's do that instead. I think that's a better idea. And then we'll go into the analysis, just because I know people trickle in a little bit later, so they may get a better kick out of the analysis than the review. But again, if you're just stumbling upon this and this is your first video or something with me, then it'll be good way to introduce you to what I do. So I do a lot of these short, kind of 1 minute videos here that will talk about what I'm watching for the week and or each individual day. They're under a minute long, so they go into the shorts video, however that happens. So let's talk about which ones I was watching for this week. And if I go back, I think the first one is right here with this ARTC. So ARTC I was looking at when it was kind of looked like, I guess 5 days ago, like that, and was looking to see if we could break above this little range that's going on here, this downtrending range right there. Couldn't actually get a fill on it because Monday morning it actually gapped above that, and then it put in this candle right here. So this is what is referred to as a gravestone doji. And a gravestone doji essentially just means that the stock ran up all day, came right back down to its closing price where it stopped. They couldn't get any further, but basically anyone that bought in this area got killed. That made me take it off my list. But however, looking at it now, it's putting in this potential ascending triangle right here. So maybe it's just waiting for that and push up. I like it because it does have a 20% short float. That's a pretty substantial short float for names like this. So maybe Less interested in this now. Again, didn't take a trade on that. And then there's GoEV, and you can probably hear in the tone of my voice, I did take this, and it did not work out. So, one moment here. I'm just gonna do that's not what I want it to do. How do I? Oh, wrong button. There. Perfect. Yeah, so GoEV basically wanted to see this over 10. This is one of the reasons why I am working very hard to just trading the last hour of the day. It's kind of a pet project of mine. And speaking of which, actually, a pet project of mine, I have to do something here because I'm running an experiment that I need to test. But yeah, GoEV, you can see that it actually got over 10 the way I want it, but it couldn't close above 10. And well, that's interesting. Sorry, I know I'm scatterbrained today. I usually have things better prepared. I'm running this experiment. I guess I'll tell you guys about an algorithm that I've been working on where you essentially enter during the last hour of the day and then you exit in the morning. And these are the symbols from that, which are the same as the ones from yesterday, which is very interesting. And SMPL. I just need to record these in real time. I'm using the Trade Ideas back tester or the Trade Ideas simulated trader to trade those, which is what I use it a lot for, to trade experiments. So sorry, I'm done being distracted. So GoEV was the second one. Again, I did get sucked in over 10, and then I got stopped out when it broke into this area. Again, I want to get better at only looking really at the market for that last hour of the day. So I'm doing a whole bunch of work and theory and building, because there's a lot of cases like this where if I just said, hey, I wanted to close over 10, I wouldn't have gotten hit like that. And again, half of all of my trades are losers, right? I'm the first one to admit that my win rate is 60% at best. So 4 out of every 10 trades are going to hit. This is just one of those that did, no big deal. But the note I take from it, because I still like to kind of take a note from all losing trades, is what could I have done better? Well, if I had waited for a close above $10, that would have been possibly a much more interesting trade. There's no way of knowing. Hey, Sam. We're just going through the trades from last week. Then there was Rocket. I know I didn't do anything with Rocket because it just fell out of bed, so we can ignore that. And CRSR, I know I didn't do anything with that. Basically, CRSR, I was watching it to break here, and it didn't, and then it broke down today, so I didn't do anything there either. FIXX was yesterday's. I haven't done anything with that, but yet this still kind of longer term pattern still remains, which is crazy that all that's down and the SPY's up. So sorry, pretty much missing in action past couple weeks. Oh, no worries, right? The market's always there. That's the cool thing about it. Okay, so that's what happened. Basically, I only took one of those 5 trades, and it was a loss. So that doesn't mean it was a bad week for me. TSP was all I needed this week. We got involved in TSP. It was part of the whole Stats Edge Pro product, again, which I'll talk about at the end, because I still only want people that would follow me long enough to catch the end of this hour-long stream. But yeah, we got TPS right on a break of that spinning top right there, and that was an amazing trade, right? We went from 50, and then I sold some at near this high, and I sold some at 70, and then I sold a little bit at 80, and then I'm still in, call it 1/5 of the position. Oh yeah, Sam, there's still room. I knew that 100 seats wouldn't be a problem. But again, right, only when you're back and you can devote yourself to it, right? I don't want to take anyone's money who's not going to get the value that they see out of it. I have a video plan to talk about what's in it and all of that. But so we had some great trades this week. The ones that I made videos about just certainly were not those great trades. So let's start going through our analysis. So crypto is going to be easy, and I'm going to be quick with my analysis on crypto, because basically, as long as Bitcoin is in this channel, I don't think there's anything to do. I don't think there's a single thing to do in all of the crypto space as long as we continue to chop in here. Because if we just take a look at some of the other ones, if we take a look at, oh, no worries, Sam. Again, I'm not, right? I'm like anyone else. I do like money, but I know there's more to existence than that. So, I never want anyone to feel pressured or whatever to do anything that's going to impact them. ADA is interesting to me. I don't know. I don't know if you guys heard, if you haven't heard of Lex Friedman. It's a podcast I've really been getting into recently. I think he seems like a really cool guy when it comes to, right? He's just one of those intellectuals who doesn't mind talking about things that people might not be a fan of talking about. But he had the Cardano, which is ADA, guy on the other week, and I have that queued up to listen to so I can learn more about Cardano, because I don't really know anything about this. All I know is that during the crypto crash and everything since then, this one's been really strong, which, again, as a technician and a quant, I don't need to know anything about it, but I do like to. But ADA, right, if I was going to participate in the crypto space, it would be an ADA, because if we look at even Ethereum, US dollars, right, in a range. We look at Litecoin, US dollars, and it's in a range and weaker than most. Doge, right, in a range, right? They're all kind of, above their crash lows, but below their recent support. So, right, when it comes to crypto, that's basically as short as I'm going to make this analysis, because other than ADA, as long as Bitcoin remains between this kind of 30 and 40K, between this, call it 30 and 40K. As long as it's in this $10,000 range, there's really nothing to do. You could try to buy the low of the range and sell the high, but I don't know if that's going to be nice to you either. Basically, I'm just one of those that if the trend isn't going to show itself, I'm not interested. So that's enough of that. So let's move over to stocks. Let's see what is going to happen for the 5th. The 5th is the Monday, right? So the markets close the 5th, so the 6th. And there is some news. This is something that I have done every day since it hasn't been part of what I've shown you guys, but it's part of the Stats Edge Pro product. I've been to this website, I think, probably near every day for like 15 years, and I don't know what they do other than this screen, which is amazing. So what we're basically looking at is it's forexfactory.com. Not affiliated unless they want to be. But all down through here is just the different currency that they think the news will affect. Here's the actual news, and then they color code it. So anything that's red is generally one that will move the market significantly. Anything that's orange may move it a bit. Yellow is, right, no big deal. So we have ISM services Tuesday before the market opens, but not a whole lot of news at all. So not really anything there that's too interesting. Now, if we go into Koifin, which is another website that I use all the time and love, no affiliation, we can take a look at basically over the last week what has been performing well and what's been performing poorly. And you can see this XLK, which is your technology, has been doing the best, followed by healthcare, then communications, and consumer discretionary. So these are all growth stocks, right? So the growth stocks seem to be doing the best, and then XLE, XLF, XLU, these are the value names, and they seem to be doing significantly worse. So, I'm going to focus on the growth names going forward, which is something that I think we all kind of know about. Did I sign up for the premium? Not yet, but I'm going to this weekend. I really want to get into it. I know that there's 1,000 things that I haven't really played with. So I do like it because it does remind me of when I used to have a Bloomberg terminal on my desk. I just need to be able to. I just need to go do it. So I'm just going to leave that screen open. 10 years of historical financial data. That's pretty significant. Cool. All right, so let's take a look at SPY and let's go into a weekly chart to start with. So great, nothing to say other than after this kind of end of the world fake out, you would have been shocked at the amount of people that I know that are traders that I respect that's it, it's over. It's all downhill from here. That one little down tick. And just like all the other down ticks we've seen since the pandemic crash, completely reversed. So no reason to think that this market is bearish in any way, shape, or form. When you look at this week, we opened at lows and we closed at highs. What is more bullish than that particular news, right? Let's go into the Qs. Same thing. Stupid strong. XLK. This is the that technology index we were looking at. Looks very well. XLE, which is energy, is actually starting to look like this thing may be starting to base. And now let's go take a look at all of these on the daily charts as well. So back into the SPY. The little tiny candles in through here make sense because there wasn't a lot of news going on. Today we had those job numbers that did very well, and so that's a more fuller body candle. So that makes sense to me as something to watch for. But this RSI divergence right here that I've been noting for a while seems to have been alleviated finally, right? So the RSI divergence would be the lows being made here versus the highs being made here. And we broke out of these highs, and we also broke out of the highs here as well. So again, everything acting like it should. I will say maybe this rally's getting a little bit long in the tooth, maybe. From the breakout, we haven't had a down day ever since we broke back out over this high. And with summer coming, and so next week is a shortened week in the middle of summer, and there's not really much in the way of earnings. Earnings start the week after and get a little bit interesting there. So basically all I'm thinking is that this may be a little bit overdone, and it may be time for some sideways type of action, a little bit of backing and filling. But there's, I wouldn't go, okay, it's time to bet against this market, it's going to tank. Just may be open for a little bit of chop. Again, with 6 or 7 days kind of straight up in a row, there's bound to be a pullback here somewhere. Let's do the XLK, or no, IWN. So IWN right here are the value names. So IWN is basically to define value. I know I keep throwing around these terms. Maybe some people here are new and don't understand, but basically growth stocks are stocks that you're not pricing them based off of like earnings per share or something. It could be something like even Tesla, which doesn't really make money, and some of these other biotech names that don't make money, and the hope is that they're going to make money in the future. That's a growth name, right? You're buying the hope that the stock is going to grow dramatically. Value names are things that they're companies that have existed for a while and have some sort of stable cash flow thing, right? So this is a ETF of those value names. So think of your big giant companies that are going to be around forever and have been around forever, right? That's what's happening here. It doesn't look very good, but then you go to IWO, which is the growth names, and that doesn't look very great either. And that's because if we go to IWM, as in Michael, you can see that of the indexes that we looked at today, IWM was the worst, right? And IWM basically is the small cap names. So I know there's a lot of people out there that even though the market's having a great time, they're not having a great time. And it's because a lot of people are focused on the small cap names, and the small cap names haven't been able to break out of this range at all when both the SPY and the Qs did, right? So, again, what does that mean for us as traders? It means that if we're looking at small cap names, we need to know that right now they're underperforming. So, if you're buying small cap names right now, your bet is that they're going to start overperforming, or right, they're going to catch up and go, because if not, you're going to basically watch the market rise and your stocks are not going to. So, definitely make sure that you're paying attention to that. It's very important to do this type of analysis daily, because it helps you be in at least the right sectors and the right indices. That's why I look at that sector map and all of these different things. So we know that we want to focus on being in tech, but larger cap tech, as opposed to smaller cap tech. Hope that makes sense. And with that being said, let's start taking a look at the scanning. Because now that I know I always have, my life is on this friggin' this iPad here in front of me. And I'm always just making notes. Every time you see me look over and down, it's because I'm making notes. And my notes basically just say large cap tech is the most strong. So when I go through these scans, that's the kind of thing I'll be looking for, is what is the float? Is it a very tiny float stock, or is it a larger float stock? And in that case, I think that they're going to be ones that are going to outperform. So, I'll find a handful of stocks that I'll be interested in playing with to put into the Stats Edge Pro product for Tuesday's trading. But the one that I make the video about is usually the one that I think may be my favorite. So for that, I'm going to try to look for something that is kind of biggish cap. Usually you'll probably have seen that I put a lot of these rounded bottom type plays in what I'm watching. I'm shying away from those just because they have not been paying for me recently. And that's just part of the market, right? So what I want more than that is I want more stocks, I guess, that look like this, that are strong and continuing to be strong, because those rounded bottom names I've just noticed aren't paying nearly as well as some of the other ones do. And as always, when we get to this part and I start doing my scanning and all this, feel free to ask questions, just because that's the reason I do these, the way I do them. If I didn't want questions, then I would just do the video and put that up. Speaking of videos, while I'm going through and doing the scanning, I recorded 4 this week. I guess I'll just tell you what they are. So one that I'm hoping to get out this weekend or early next week is about our multiple trading. It's about how to compound returns inside your portfolio, kind of using a risk reinvestment philosophy. Maybe old news to some, maybe great news for others, where I think it's important for those people who don't know. I did another one that's all about the Stats Edge Pro product, what the offer is, what I want Stats Edge Pro to be, what I don't want it to be, all of that. That will come out fairly soon. And then I have one that's kind of a rewrite of one that I did a while ago, which was called Treat Trading Like a Sport. And those will be out soon as well. They're all recorded. I just really want to make sure I do a good job in the editing process with them, and to make sure that that's that they're solidly edited. And I am no video editor. I'll tell you that right now. So it's probably going to take me 8 times longer than it would take anyone else, but maybe I find a video editor somewhere in the future. I liked that Flight, FL, has nothing to do with flights, I guess, FLGT, data housing and processing. It does kind of still have that rounded bottom look, but instead of this like that, right? This one's kind of, you can see that, but it already does have an uptrend as well. So I'm, again, trying to be better at buying pullbacks and trends. And I really like that when I look at this one, that this prior resistance right here is becoming support right here. And we have a little tiny doji. So I'm going to take a look at that one. So far, that's our best looking one. Yeah, I've used Adobe Rush. I use a program called Luma Fusion right now that used to be an iPad app, and it still is an iPad app, but it's for the new M1 Max as well. But I want this to be really good. I'm going to have graphics and pop-ups and animations and all kinds of stuff. So I figure I give you guys those 5 short videos a week, and then I give you guys a live stream. But what I think the channel's missing when it comes to how I think it will be the most valuable for you guys is that more of that kind of long form, so 10-ish minutes educational content. That's something I want to do a better job at producing more. So my plan is to record them all one day a month and then edit them kind of 1 week a month. So MXIN. I know I traded this. I can't remember if I made on it or not, but I do like this as well. So basically just trying to do more trend continuation plays and less breakout plays. Is basically, again, you'll notice me playing a lot more of this, right? The things pulling back. I kind of want to buy it into this pullback. I've just noticed that of the big trades that I've had recently, and my 2 really big trades was Fubo, which I took right here on this breakout, and that was great. Then I already mentioned TSP, which was kind of my month maker, which I bought as we broke out of here. So I'm trying to look for more of that trend continuation and less of, trying to buy this breakout type of thing. And that's, that may shift back when the market changes, right? And that's part of the nuance of trading, is to always switch strats. Sorry, just writing something out. Gonna do something, I guess, on my TikTok account, which I'm embarrassed to say I do have a TikTok account. So yeah, I want to do more educational type content, and it's funny that all of these videos that I'm about to make are all videos that were suggested by the chat room that we have at Stats Edge Pro. So part of the problem that I've always had is that the idea for content has always been somewhat hard. And now that I've kind of have this think tank of, make videos about this, I'm certainly planning on utilizing that. Not seeing a lot. Is that a new IPO? That's an interesting one. Recrusion Pharmaceuticals. What do they do? Clinical stage biotech company that combines automation, artificial intelligence, machine learning into vivo validation to discover novel medicines. Biotech. Very risky. I'll take it small. Again, just the kind of look that I'm looking for on this market is this pullback type of a play, right? Where I'm finding something already in a good trend, pulling back. You can see a couple bottoming tails happening here. I like that this 35 was resistance in through here, and now support kind of up in this area. So if this resistance at 35 holds a support here, then I think this thing could get going from there. And then if we zoom in and just look at kind of this last little bit of action that's happening right here, you can see a little mini bull flag, right? Big strong push up, and then we have this pullback happening after that. Let's try that again. Big strong pull up, then this pullback happening here. So a little bull flag potentially going on there. That in combined with, the prior resistance or support becoming resistance, that's interesting to me. So I'm going to put that on the list of things to watch for Tuesday's trading. We're getting a pretty good list together here. Oh, now we're zoomed out too much. I'm trying to keep my zoom on my chart a little more. Oh, this one's got me before. Do I try it again? Trying to keep my zoom a little bit more constant, just to keep the size of my charts a little more constant, just to do things to help with making sure that my music died, that I'm looking at things in the same scale and format consistently, just to help kind of make sure my eye is kind of focused in. Perfect. Without music, things are less fun. Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm going to market this to you guys. My buddy Chris at Trade Ideas is doing a marathon run for MS. So I'm going to put that right there just because I'll do it on Twitter and stuff too soon, but just in case, right? Any of you guys want to pitch in for that, that'll be great. And I'll be donating to that when we're done. Yeah, Sam, that's what I'm looking at. The only reason I'm looking at this SFIX for so long is because I took it, I want to say, in here and got stopped out. I don't think for a dollar stop. I think it was for a time stop. But it does kind of look good if it can clear this area. It's got this 20% short float, good strong trend. All right, let's add that. Why not? I don't think that, maybe it will be the video. I don't know. I feel like I did a video about this before. I feel like I did. The reason I have my camera so big and obnoxious is this scan that I'm running, I can't really show because it's this cool new thing that we're working on at Trade Ideas that's probably many moons away. But I'm trying to incorporate it into my own trading. What flag is that? Colombia. Is that all the data for this? No? Jeez. That's a strong stock. Fiat Glass Manufacturing. Who knew glass was such a profitable industry? Lacks a bit of volatility for me, right? That's 21 and that's 20. I don't know if that will be volatile enough, but that's a nice slow trader that has that same look that I'm looking for. One of the reasons I'm looking so hard for pullbacks into trends, I think, has to do with this. How much of a champ would you be if you had a strategy to come up with in that pullback at that time? Basically, everything you would have touched from that moment on would have been great. TSP's back. TV, Grupo Television. This one's a real slow burner, isn't it? Yeah, I remember this one from just trading. Twilio, Under Armour, not interested. Uber, don't like it. And at the same time, I always will do. Oh, 2 months ago I did. I'm going to look at that 2 months ago. When you go through so many stocks a day, they all start to blend together, which I actually think is a really good thing because it means you spend less time focusing on each individual name. SFIX 2 months ago. In here? That must not have worked out well. Now, if I called it over here, I'm pissed because it means I didn't ride that trend the way I wanted to. 2 months ago I did. Are you on my channel? Is that how you're finding that? Oh, well, who cares? Also, we're getting to the point where, I hide the amount of viewers, so it could just be me and you, Sam, for all I know. But if people want me to look at certain charts that they're interested in, for sure I can do that. I'm going to my channel right now. I'm seeing where I looked. I want to know where I looked at this. I don't know if I actually want to be honest. Just because it's probably, looking back, I probably did a piss poor job in actually trading it. I make a lot of friggin' videos. I don't see it. Oh yeah, there it is. 407. Oh, okay. So it was like right here. Right? Yeah. In that area. So that's fine. I'm no longer mad at myself. That wouldn't have been a good trade anyway. I would have had to hold through all this in order to make that. So I'm fine with I didn't get that. So maybe I'm not mad at it anymore. Maybe I was thinking about that. Again, I do like the short float. It's a very simple when we're talking about value names, retail is one of the biggest value names that are out there, right? It's this company, you understand their income model. They're not a biotech, they're not a anything like that. They are they make clothes, right? As far as I know, this might be one of every now and then I'll ask the wife, what about this company? Online personal styling service that delivers personal fixes and apparels for accessories for men and women. Online. Oh, so it might be more of a growth play. But I do like that. Now, so then we have to say, okay, how did the retail index do over the last period of time with XRT? And XRT is near highs. So that's great too, because they're going to be involved in that. Let me quickly look at how many symbols I put. I recorded just to see if I'm kind of tapped out. I always like to cap my watch list, and that's just kind of, I guess, if we're just talking about tips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably enough. I find that when my watch list gets like over 10 stocks, I just can't, it's just too much. Even, again, you guys know that I robotically enter these things in kind of a systematic way. But even if my portfolio kind of gets over 10 stocks, I just find it way too much. So I try to cap the amount that I put on my watch list every day. And again, just to keep plugging, you can see I got my own merch now that you can't buy, but I bought it. That's part of what Stats Edge trading is. You get access for $2 a day to that watch list of what it is that I'm watching every day, and then I modify it kind of as time goes by. This week, I'm going to do something to pretty it up a bit, but we'll see. So, again, if anyone has any charts or anything that you guys want me to look at, now is a good time to do it. You got any questions, anything you want to talk about, that's fine, because I think I'm going to look at one more scan, which is this one called In the Pocket, which is basically looking for pullback plays. One goal that I have for the rest of the year is to get better at pullback plays for a couple reasons. One is I want to start experimenting with option selling. And this is something that when Tastyworks comes to Canada, I'm going to move my RRSP, which is in Canada, it's like your IRA down there, where the IRA is, it's like deferred. You put into it, you don't pay tax while you're trading it, blah, blah, blah. The RSP is the same thing. And I've always liked the concept of like the wheel strategy, right? Where you sell puts underneath a stock that you think will hold support, and if you get assigned, then you start selling calls against it until you're assigned on the way out. I want to play with it. It's, again, you guys know I'm always very quantitative and technical, so I'll have to do with that. And the other thing is, I just think you're probably in the long run going to do way better playing pullbacks than breakouts. I've just never been good at them. So this is how I approach trading when it comes to a strategy enhancement and development. I have a couple strategies that work, and those things, they pay me, and I'm happy with those. But I'm never just happy with those. It's always I want to add another trading, another pattern or another style into my repertoire, so I can do things like I told you guys at the beginning that these rounded bottom breakout plays you guys seen me plays for a while are just not working right now. They're doing like Go EV, where they're breaking out intraday a bit and then they're just crashing, right? So I'm not interested in that. So I want to get better at pullbacks. So that's what this scan is, which I just call in the pocket. It's a very simple pullback type of scanner. So I'm going to put PubM in it. And again, I just want to get good at picking the point, right? So this, for example, I like because we hit the 20-day MA and we've got this prior resistance right here. So if I had just thrown an order down here, could I have gotten a really good fill? My problem with all of this, and I would love, like this is where I think it'd be cool to bring other people on the channel. I would love to talk to someone who does this and who does this well, who either uses trend lines or something, has a pullback, because the problem I have wrapping my head around this trade, and let's just do a thought experiment, right? And we're going deep with Michael, and we're going to try to think of new trading strategies, because buying it's PubM, right? We got a 40% short float. It's pulled back to a level that I'm interested in, that if I was a good pullback trader, I think that's the point. Now, where do I put my stop? Right? Do I put it down here like that, like below this candle? Because that's pretty wide, right? What if there's no support back there to the left? Or do I do it programmatically, right? Do I say something like we add on a average true range, right? And we say, okay, well, the average true range of this is $3.39, right? $3.39 is the average true range on the stock. Do I go, okay, well, I'm going to take that average range of $3 and whatever, and I'm just going to buy it here, and I'm going to risk a multiple of ATR, right? I'm going to risk 1 or 1.5 ATR and just ignore putting the stop based off the chart, just guessing that I'm within that 1 to 2 ATR of that. And then I need to ask myself the same question I always ask myself. Well, if I'm risking, let's call it 350, do I think it's possible that I could make $7, which puts us at 42, which is, in my mind, very achievable, right? So I would buy it at 35. I'd put a stop at, what's that, 32? Yeah, 35.50. So my stop would be here, right? So if I enter here and I put a stop here and I put a target here, God, that looks like a good way to trade, doesn't it? Like this is, and you guys got to know, like I have these thoughts, like this me leaning here, just staring at the screen thinking, this is like a third of my day. I just feel like you can work so much out here before you put it there, because man, that looks good. See, this is the time where I'd like to have a bigger connection. Like I don't even, like I know a lot of traders that do a lot of breakout plays. They do a lot of bull flags and bear flags like I do. I don't know if I have a guy that just does pullback trades, because I'd love to chat with him about how he does it and how he manages risk, because that's everything in trading, right? Managing risk is absolutely everything. So that's the piece of the puzzle I need to, because I would, how cool would it be if that's all you did, right? You looked at the stocks on the close, you bought the ones that had pulled back on a closing basis to areas like that you're interested in, and then you just bought them, and then you put out your stop, and then you looked at them at the close a handful of days from now, right? That simple 2-to-1 risk reward that we're seeing here on the screen. Do you do that with a 50-50 win rate, you're a very happy person. if you can get a 50% win rate over the long run. And I just think you get chopped out less. Anyway, that's enough of. I said I'd look at charts for you guys, but I don't know. If you know anyone, if you guys follow anyone else who does that kind of trading, send them at me, or send me at them. That'd be even better, because I'm small and they're probably big. And we'll go on the channel, we'll do chat about it. Maybe I should do that more with traders. So 4. So this was one of the TI strength alerts for a while. I actually participated above 100 and got back out at 100. It's one of those things that until it's over 100, I'm not interested. If anything, I'd lean short on this one. I like the short float and all of that, but it's just 100 is the area. One thing I did today, speaking of the TI strength alerts, is I actually, so XXII, basically in the TIS web thing, I said, hey, look at 5. But as we fell down to 4, I actually bought some. Where's my average fill? It's not great. It's like 430, I think. And again, back in that spirit of I'm trying to figure out how to learn pullback trading. Just thinking that, if we get a little bounce from here, I can sell a chunk of that and then I can hold the rest. Maybe if we break through 5 a little bit, that would be interesting. But 4, right? It's, if it got to like this support, maybe it'd be interesting. But unless it gets over that resistance, I'm not really interested on that for a trade. CLSK. Same kind of thing, right? Look at all one. Wait, sorry, I should read for short. Okay. I was about to say, as a long, I'm not interested. I was about to say before I even read that you were talking short, that I actually kind of like this as a short. So that may confirm. I don't know. But just because, right, we've got short-term moving average below mid-term moving average. We got a topping tail here and a topping tail here. We came back, right, lower highs, lower lows, obvious downtrend. So I think I like that one. And LPCN. I think LPCN, it's like 150 is your number. Right, it's pharmaceutical. It's wild. It's crazy. It's not really even for a pharmaceutical. It's not even really much of a mover, but I guess on a percentage basis, if you're in at 150 and you get to 2, that's on a percentage basis, you're super happy there. But I think it's pretty obvious that 150 is the number, right? It's stopped here a couple times at 150. It's hit here at 150. It's there at 150. It's hit there at 150. So unless it broke and cleared 150, I would be wary. Plus, anytime I see this, right, this pattern of a big spike and then a sell-off after that spike, that's bag holders, right? There's a lot of people bag holding from there. And if you want to see how these bag holders are doing, one great way to do it in Trade Ideas is by the Anchored VWAP tool. So you can click on Anchored VWAP and you can click here. You can see that the average market participant from this high is right here. So that's going to be an area to get through. And actually, one great example about how cool Anchored VWAP is this Gary that I took this week, and it was a great trade, and now the rest of it's turning out not to be a bad trade, or not to be a good trade. And I basically did this on Gary, where I anchored a VWAP from the IPO price, and you can see that. So I bought Gary right here, and I sold out most up here for that reason. And you can see it bounced right off the Anchored VWAP, and now it's selling off. So, so that's an interesting one. All right, now will probably be, I think, all that I'm going to watch. So if you guys have anything else you want me to look over, let me know. If not, I will do another just walkthrough of Stats Edge Trading Pro. and how that's going and basically what you get. And so the price is, come on, stop. This website's being difficult. There we go. It's $49.99 US a month, month to month. So you buy it for a month. You don't like it, just leave. No harm, no foul. You get to it by, let's just do this, my Squarespace, but whatever. Up here. Oh, you can't see that. What happens if I do that? Okay, that's a little big, but I can shrink that. Sorry. Bear with me. Okay. There we go. So I'm gone, but you can see what's important. So, right, Stats Edge Trading Pro will get you to, if you aren't signed up, it will get you to a sign up page. So this is the product again, $49.99 US a month, month to month, cancel anytime. You get my nightly watch list and analysis, which will look like this. So every night I will basically give a wrap up of what I think of the crypto markets, the equity markets, what I think's going on, with fully annotated charts, right? These were the stocks that we were watching today. Mac, I did get involved in Mac. I think, yeah, that's the only one I got involved in today. Here's a little analysis of that FXII. And then here, this leads you to a watch list. So this is all the stocks I have on watch right here. Let's go back. You also get access to my scans, right? So you can go and click on my scans, and these are my scans for both Trade Ideas and TrendSpider with all the custom formulas you need and all that stuff. As I kind of build and create new scans and algorithms, they'll be added here. And then we have a kind of live little members chat Discord trading room. Again, it's none of this is a signal service. I am not a financial advisor. I am just some dude on the internet. Don't listen to me. And I'm obviously, joking a bit. I am just some guy on the internet, and I am not a financial advisor, but I'm saying this is not a joke. Like, this is not a signal service. The point of this, and what I'm trying to get to on this, and the video I recorded, I think, does a better job at record or saying it, is I want people to watch over my shoulder as I trade, or not as I trade, as I do my analysis. So basically, $2 a day either replaces your analysis, or what I think would be better, especially for you guys, is complementary to your analysis. So you do your analysis every night, and then you check mine for what I think is a pretty low rate. Again, if you're not ready to go there yet and you just want to check out the website, please do. I've got this free trading course right here. It's a 39 lesson trading course. Free. That will always be free. If you're a newer person, I would actually recommend going here first before doing anything like that. And then you can get access to my trading tools. If you click on either of these, there'll be little discount links for you. That helps out the channel. So if you're going to buy either Trade Ideas or TrendSpider, if you do it here, that helps me out. And then I just got a little cute blog that I post in every now and then. So this is something I wanted to show you guys before I left. I went back to 2010 and I ran how many of the days after July 4th from 2010 till obviously 2020. So 10 years. It's like 11, maybe it's 2009, were positive. So 73% is positive. So whatever you guys do on your long weekend, you get drunk and shoot fireworks, and I don't know. I just imagine Americans just shooting guns into the air and yelling. It seems to help because you guys come back like super jacked up, and 73% of the time, you guys pump the market. So that's all the kind of cool stuff that you can see here. So again, come check out my website. explore it. If you want to join the pro product, go right ahead. I am still going to cap it when it reaches 100 members, for a little bit anyway, unless we slowly grow to that point. I basically put that cap on initially because I didn't want it. I was just worried. I knew that like the chances were like 1% that, day one, 200 people would show up, but I've got 3,000 of you here on YouTube and like I think 2,000 on Twitter and another 1,500 on TikTok. So I was worried that, floodgates would open. But again, you guys know me, I'm an open book. So that we've got like 30, right? So we're not anywhere near any kind of a limit. So I don't want to do any FOMO marketing or something where you guys think you have to get in if you're interested. Very much hammering out a lot of the bugs and things that basically, because I know the people who have joined right now are the people who are, true supporters and fans and stuff. I'm taking a lot of their feedback into mine. So we've made 4 or 5 changes that the people can tell you already based off of what they were thinking. The last thing that's part of the product that I forgot to mention, I'll mention before I take off, is a once a month webinar. So we're going to do a webinar every month where it's going to be bring your own beer. Email me beforehand if you want to ask a question anonymously. If you want to pop on the mic and ask a question, go right ahead. And I will stay there for as long as you want. So like the first one we did, I think was 2 hours ish. And I got a lot of good feedback from the guys that were in there that I don't prepare anything. I'm going to show up and I will be there for as long as there's questions kind of thing. So again, that's what it is. If you want to come check it out, it's statsedgetrading.com. Link is in the description of every one of my videos. That's going to be it for me for tonight, guys. Speaking of Stats Edge Pro, I'm going to go do the newsletter and I have to do the TI strength stuff and all that stuff. So I still got another hour or 2 worth of work in me tonight. So thanks you everyone for coming out. Again, pay attention to the videos that should be out sometime this week. I'm doing a lot of work, as I mentioned, with the video editing on them. So I hope they're going to be good. It's going to be hopefully an educational video a week from now on if I can keep up that pace. So everyone have fun. To all of my American friends south of the ice wall, happy America Day. And be careful with the fireworks. Trade safe out there.